I love this one, Kevin.
Hello. Good, because I made it
X'd out
for the Clout route right here. Welcome. What up, Head Thug? What up, Kang? Good morning,
up,
good
everybody?
afternoon.
Good evening, good night.
Grab your coffee if you're one of the West Coasters. It's like
Crack
8
an egg.
a.m. We all need a little church this morning, don't we? Ooh.
Do
Got
we?
the willies.
Yeah, I need to go to church.
God.
Okay. In the spirit of things, I think at the top we gotta start introducing ourselves like people don't know us.
Oh, okay.
We need to come up with the catchphrase still. We're working. But anyway, it's the Clout Route, people. Clout Route Live. Episode 2. I am Danny, egg number 1 on the screen. Kevin.
And
What's up?
I am Egg 2. Kev, what is up? And this just confirms an upcoming merch push, Danny, because I have been daydreaming Dr. Seuss-esque Egg 1, Egg 2 shirts for us. And 2 happens to be one of my favorite numbers. So I am hyped. Egg 2 right here. Look out. We got beanies coming. We got weird little egg-shaped plushies. All coming.
Let's see. Kanga says, have you guys heard of the half man, half house horse song? No, I avoid all horse content. Avoid all horse content.
True.
Speaking of which, how long do we have to wait before I can say, like,
About 57 more seconds.
before I can talk about other horse content?
We will all be saying nay after we see this one. Ooh.
Stop.
No.
You know, between that
Unless
line,
you're into that kind of thing.
between that line and the way I'm dressed and shaved today, it's like we are total like 90s should be dads, but we're not.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You got the backwards hat. Is that a flannel too with the goatee?
Yeah, I didn't realize what's happening to me until you said the dad joke. Then I was like, oh, like I'm feeling very 90s today. Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you moved to Portland.
Not quite. That's hell on earth. California's on fire, but that's hell on earth.
I agree. Shout out to the homies
God,
in Seattle. That's right.
I'm gonna make way too many probably insensitive fire California jokes. Shouts out to our victims of the fire in Cali. You know, our hearts go out to you. I might make a joke or two, but we wish you well. Okay.
True. That's true.
You think these people have caught one of the only Dans yet? Because if they have, we're in big trouble, just like Bo Blacks.
Oh, I hope no one leaks your only Dans. Wouldn't that be horrible? Just don't pull up your Google accounts.
That's for paying customers only. You know, just because when I saw that list of like email, we'll get into it. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to bury the lead.
tease.
Watch your emails, okay, people. If you're a streamer and you're doing the thing, oh, I gotta switch accounts. Watch your emails, people. You're gonna let somebody see something that you don't want them to see. Okay?
Maybe
You
have
got that fucking rimjob69 at Yahoo Mail or whatever. You're fucked. Okay, watch out.
just have a separate Google profile. It takes like 2 minutes. All right. And then you can have bookmarks specified for like, I have a different tab for when I'm streaming, not because I'm trying to hide my super secret.
You have a different tab for when the
fans
lotion,
only
the
account.
lotion and the tissues come out too.
No, dude. No, I don't do that. No way.
All on your phone,
on your work,
right? Like
on your
Tipster
work
said.
computer? No
Only
way,
on-
dude.
Why don't you do it on your phone, just like
Only on
Tipster
your
said?
phone. I only want Verizon to have that information. No, dude, I'm analog, man. We've talked about this before. It's all I own no digital media for me. All physical media. I got a
You
secret
have one of those
DVD player
clocks
I
that
hide in
run
my
by the
closet.
sun?
Also, yes.
Yeah,
You should see this place. Just mirrors everywhere. Who needs a light bulb?
Okay. All right, fair enough. Yeah, so I guess we'll get right into it. It's the top of the show, people. Welcome. We love to see ya. It's the Clout Route. And of course, last week we were investigating subject Bo Blacks. He was one of the topics of the week. And it's been he did a self-deprecating stream at one point this week where he was like, "Okay, everybody give it to me." And they gave it to him. But we just we saw that. That was all public. We didn't see what he was given in the private, but now we have. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The dress picture was drama last week. This week it is far beyond a dress picture. Poor Bo Black's commentary drama Twitter versus guy has had a side job, Kevin.
Don't we all? We all have a side hustle.
This is my side hustle, okay? See, that's what happens. This is why the answer to all of your questions about why are YouTubers so degenerate, okay? Here's the answer. They have too much time on their hands, okay? They do their YouTube job and then they're like, this right here is me and Kevin's just like side hustle, our side thing. This is the thing we do for fun, on the side. When we have a real like job and life outside of this. When this is your life, I guess, you only do so much and then you're like, okay, what do I do with the rest of my time? And it's like, well, we found out what Bo Blacks does with the rest of his time, at least when he's not playing Pikmin. Does this bring new meaning to last week when does this bring new meaning to last week when I was talking about how Pikmin looked like they were butt plugs?
Dude, I was onto something. Yeah.
He's done that before, probably. I didn't investigate the OnlyFans very hard, but that content's coming down the pipeline. That's for sure.
Oh, phrasing.
Maybe literally.
Phrasing. What's up, King? Good luck with the snow removal. I'll read out the funny comments because I know how that goes. You're probably hands-free in listen-only mode. So if anybody tells a really good joke in chat, I'll make sure I read it out. But appreciate you. Good luck out there. And what up, Harls, as well. You guys, I promise it won't stay this degenerate, all right? Might be a rough,
well,
kind of like a little turbulence early in a flight. Once we get up beyond this, it should be smooth sailing for at least a little while.
It's a new season, right? So it's like, this is a new Clout Route era. So we get to have another butt episode. We get to have another dick episode, and this is our Bo Black's OnlyFans episode. Did we have one before? I don't think so. This is revolutionary. This is groundbreaking, actually. This is groundbreaking stuff here.
I feel like we've been here before, but just some things have been slightly altered.
Here, check this out. This is the account that they found.
Ooh. He lived long enough to become tipster, huh?
See, this is the funny thing to me about all the there's very many peculiar and funny points to this whole story, because yes, Bo Black's the commentary streamer used to be best buddies, butt buddies, some would say, with Tipster, another commentary drama streamer, tried to be political, tried to be gamer, whatever. And Tipster, Bo Black's certainly joined in on dogpiling Tipster when Tipster was going through his drama, which, like, fair enough. Tipster was deserving of all the criticism that he got. I mean, that's why nobody talks about him now, is because he's fallen off entirely. He's gone. I don't know what's up with Tipster. He gone.
I've heard he was a beacon in the Resident Evil live streaming community.
Right, I'm sure. Yeah.
A lot of goth mommies in there, I hear.
Well, that's what he's here for. But it's so funny to see Bo Black's like fight against and like push out a friend of his that so clearly would have had his back in this situation and in this drama right now. Whereas the friends that he stayed chummy with and stayed friends with, you know, the Augie RFCs, the Connor or whatever, who we were reading the tweets of them back and forth last week. All these people that he put his trust in and remained friends with are absolutely just dancing on his grave, laughing at him hysterically.
It'd be your own people.
Augie has not wasted one moment to drop fucking 10 F slur bombs.
No, I am surprised. I, for one, am shocked at that. That is quite the breaking news for me. What a twist to this story. New development.
The thing I will give little Augie, skinny twink drama streamer commentary boy, is that he does have some ball. He does have a set on him because, and Bo Blacks probably knows.
Have you seen him? Why did he leak his? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But he's got some balls on him to just like, he just casually drops like N bombs and shit while he's hanging out. And I'm like, you know, it's all fun and games now. You're young and spry and hip. You're cool.
He's at least one of those things, I think.
Right. One of those things. It'll just be funny one day when like somebody, he's like got a coworker that looks into him and happens to find a compilation of his N bombs or whatever. And they're like, what the fuck? Yeah. Coincidentally, it's the black guy that sits in the cubicle next to him or whatever he has to end up doing. And he's like, what the fuck is this, dude? What is this? I just looked you up on Twitter and you just said fucking.
First of all, that guy, I like this scenario, but I can't imagine him getting through a job interview, let alone.
Well, it would be more likely it would be like a McDonald's or a Wendy's or something. And those guys aren't going to just like show you and ask you what the fuck it is. He's just going to talk first with his fist. But anyways, yeah, he would have had, Bo Blacks would have had at least someone in his corner with Tipster. But he drove him away, and boy, these guys that he, you know, schmoozed with are all like, fuck you, dude, you weirdo. Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, he could have had
freak.
He could have had Tipster and Keffels running defense for him all night while he slept. They would have been up with some performance enhancers, just up there.
God.
Tweeting all about this. And instead, oh yeah, he just got dunked on. I think the only person I saw was telling Danny this pre-stream. I was like, I didn't see anybody make any new content about it. There's a Chud Logic stream going on about
he's busy right now with he's found a treasure trove. He's got a lot of research.
Dude, you search Bo Black's name and it's just that guy. It's like, pow, pow. I'm like, God damn, someone found their niche, huh? You just dancing on this dude. My God.
Well, when I woke up this morning, it was like Twitter was ablaze with Bo Blacks this, Bo Blacks that. I didn't see the picture, but then I didn't see any of the pictures. But then somebody shared the thread to Discord, so I saw it. And I will just say to Bo Blacks, if I have any comments on the content of his situation going on, the mangina's bold. Like, that's bold. Like, I think that like you do the tuck and pose, that's bold. I always find that one funny. If you you know, push the old twig and berries back and then what the fuck?
Yeah, that's on the level of the dude who like elbow drops onto broken glass and metal from the top of buildings, you know, like that's, you got to be brave to talk yourself into doing that.
That dude on YouTube, we've watched him before.
Fuck this shit.
The juggalos and juggalettes, dude, they'll get it. That's who subscribes to Bo Blacks' OnlyFans, actually. The juggalos and the juggalettes.
Oh my God. I just keep thinking of Buffalo Bill now at this point. You know, you
I
got
mean, it's very
there's
like there's
some
lots,
Lazarus Q playing in the background.
there's lots of Buffalo
Goodbye,
Bill ripe
home
jokes.
son.
It reminds me of, man, I can't even think of who it was on. There's an episode of Californication where a guy, they're like have a dinner and they're talking about like their serious business. He's like eating with producers or other writers and shit. And then one of the guys gets like drunk for the first time ever in years. He's like a writer that's been sober for years.
Ooh.
And he just hits everybody at the dinner party with the fucking mangina after he gets drunk.
Oh,
He tucks and shows everyone. And I'm like, what? Ever since then, I have been amazed by the boldness of a mangina.
it was old Greg for me.
A tuck
That's
and
what did it.
pose.
Yeah. When I found out it could put a guy to sleep, I was like, well, that's powerful stuff. I'm old
Oh,
Greg.
there's a lot of the only he should be dropping is fries into my bag. That's right.
Ooh.
That's right, Jade. You tell him. I heard Tipster and Keffels were having trouble in Paradise. I mean, yeah, well.
Talk about time being a flat circle. Yeah. Color me surprised.
They're a whole nother thing. All right, well, let's get into the show. Sorry, Bobby. That's unfortunate for you, dude. What I did want to ask, I guess, a good question to glean off this. If you don't know who Boblax is or whatever, you know, blah, 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 and you're here listening, you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? Okay. Imagine you're a content creator online and you're a pretty small content creator. Okay. And you frequently participate in, I mean, Boblax wasn't particularly like, he didn't go after trans people or LGBTQ people or anything like that. He defended them, if anything. So like, it is what it is, but he just participated in like shit talking in general. He's just a very big shit talker, and obviously was keeping the whole OnlyFans thing a secret for a reason because he knew he'd get shit talked. So do you think a shit talking YouTuber, a drama, a commentary YouTuber that has their like secret fetishy thing OnlyFans release that he has any chance in hell of maintaining?
Ooh.
You get eaten alive by the commentary people for this.
I think he is probably going to have to resort to streaming Super Nintendo games to a very niche audience and heavily moderating his comment section to remove certain words. But maybe, I don't know. We have a very short memory as people in present year. But what the first episode of Raw on Netflix reminded me is we don't forget everything, as everybody booed Hulk Hogan out of the goddamn building over something that he did probably 12 years ago at this point. So there are some things we will remember and say, hey, nah, I'm cool on this. So I think his days of talking shit about other people will probably be coming to an end, just because it'll be an endless reply of the kind of comments you would expect. I imagine like he's just going to get so much more hate. I think, I don't know. To be honest with you, I never really scrolled a Boblax. Easy name for me to say.
The name is interesting too. When all this comes out, it's like you kind of fumble over your words and you end up saying like Blowbacks or
yeah,
you know, something weird, and you start thinking, what is this name? I don't know. What's the origins of Boblax? Because I'd be curious with that. Anyways, all right, let's move. I don't think that he has a shot to be like to stay around. It's like when you're a shit talker and then your cock leaks, and it's like maybe one thing if your cock leaks online and you have like a big ass massive one with nothing to be ashamed of, and you're just like, okay, cool, whatever. But like Boblax, unfortunately, is like that whole thing is the total opposite. Not only is it not a throbbing horse cock like his Twitter handle was, but it is also him in a dress So,
Why is
like,
it that it seems that it's
he's
never the
fucked.
dudes who have a shareable penis that are sharing it online, right? It's always the
No,
8-bit
those people
Erics
all do
and
too.
it's like,
Those
why the
people
hell?
Those people
It's just
all do
nobody
too.
shares
We just
those.
exactly. That's like welcome, more welcome. You're like, oh, whatever. You'll scroll past that. But it's when it's disgusting. Yeah, when it's 8-bit Eric's fucking red rocket. You're like, oh
So
god,
it's the Tom
damn
Brady
it.
meme. It's like the sexual harassment meme, but with penises. Like, no, this is bad. I disagree. Where's the disavow button? Hang
You
on.
know, there's a new coalition. There's a new. I challenge Ren. I challenge Ren Ula. Renula.
What a
I
good
challenge
time.
Ren.
What up, Ren?
I challenge Ren, okay? There's a new coalition coming, a coalition of streamers. You got Bo Blacks, you got Tipster, okay? Who else is gonna be in the coalition? You got Keffels. We need like a Mount Rushmore of these guys. Who are we just talking about? Why am I not thinking about another one that's just ripe for this Mount Rushmore?
8-inch Eric. Hang on. I have to read. I
Oh, 8-inch
promise.
Eric, exactly. 8-bit Eric. And they're all gamers. This is like a perfect Mount Rushmore. They're all Keffels, Bo Blacks, Tipster, 8-bit Eric, all gamers that have been shamed and their body parts have been leaked online for people to view. I was going to say for their viewing pleasure, but that
Christian. Harl's with the comment of the day early on. They should call him Grow Blacks because he's definitely not a show
no,
blacks.
shut the fuck up.
I am dead. I haven't been able to breathe for a minute since reading that. Oh my god.
All right, we must move on. Just here, we'll do just a quick palate cleanser, okay? Our
Thank
vice
God.
president, or well, the new vice president, the one we're about to have, okay? Ohio native, JD Vance. Kevin, I need to ask, okay? You're the guy to ask. I need to ask. Is JD Vance based for this tweet?
Oh.
It says, JD Vance, hopefully everyone is cool with me skipping the inauguration so I can go to the national title game.
Oh. That
Is this based?
dude, that is understanding your base at least. I mean,
yeah, he gets it. He does. You're right.
If he wants to return back to the governance of Ohio when this whole thing is over, because be honest with you, I don't see him as a real presidential candidate. I think he's going to get this term and then he'll be back to telling us what to do here in Ohio. And if you want that, yes, you go to the national championship game. There's nothing more important to most, like 98% of this state. It's the only pro sports team to a lot of them. It doesn't matter. They're better than both NFL teams most years. They're better than the Bengals or the Browns a lot of times.
Yes.
So this is
absolutely.
it. As a lifelong Notre Dame fan, I am in hiding actually for the next 2 weeks because I can't show my face. They know what I'm about around here, and they will chase me down. They will beat me.
Thank you, Kang, for the $5. She says JD Vance should post his eyeliner tutorial. Yeah, like don't they call it guy liner when he does it?
That is great.
My
Chemical Romance.
Well, his you didn't hear his cell phone go off in that one interview, and it was Hawthorne Heights.
Oh,
his heart's in Ohio. Okay,
I get it. Yeah,
that's the guy liner.
See what he did there. My God.
Yeah.
The man of the people. JD Vance.
Right.
Very charismatic.
He knows it. So let's get into some actual news and not. I feel like soon it won't be. Soon it won't be, folks. It won't be news that such and such's OnlyFans leaked, because guess what?
God.
It seems we were well on our way to every single content creator also having a link in their bio to their fucking ball sack. So,
oh,
I mean, It is what it is. I mean, we've been joking about Only Dance for years. You think I was kidding? You guys just can't find it. Dan's. It's Dan's. But anyways, let's get into some news, Kev. How about that?
Oh, let's get right into it.
Let's get
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
into the
saying? Woohoo.
news.
Hello, Shadow.
What up, Shadow? Nice to see you. So we're gonna be talking about the Joe Rogan experience today, folks. The Joe Rogan experience. And really today I don't have much to say about my muscular bald brother. It's not Joe. Joe has done no wrong here. In fact, with most of the clips that we're about to watch with Joe here, my hat, metaphorically, because I'm not going to take my headphones off and everything, is off to him. Because this is what I want. When I watch Joe Rogan, okay, if I have to watch Joe Rogan, it's more like it. I want there to be a reason. Like, get some compelling guests on here that, like, I don't hear going off crazy fucking talking everywhere. Now, it seems like Mel Gibson's on a press tour now, so we're going to hear a lot of him. But I haven't heard Mel Gibson in years. This was like fucking crazy. I was like, oh, perfect, dude. The perfect guy that's going to, like, come on here and just be absolutely bonkers nuts. And Joe's like, what? Yeah. What? Oh yeah. What? And
go on. Tell me more.
I loved every minute. Now, as for what Shadow's saying here, Mark Zuckerberg is walking back the censorship on Facebook. That's cool, I guess. Whatever. We'll see how that goes. But Mel Gibson, such a more compelling guest, even if he's like a fucking absolute, anti-Semite nut job.
Yeah, he's much better fit on Alex Jones's program, but we'll take what we can get.
I would rather listen to Mel Gibson go crazy for 2 hours than I'd listen to a second out of Zuckerberg's mouth. Especially how he looks. He looks like he's 10 years ahead of me, okay? I'm doing the 90s. He's doing the 2000s with his fucking necklace and $10 tee, and he grew his hair out. He's all fucking, yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's a great look. It's certainly
rich.
certainly doesn't scream what do they call that? Mid-age crisis. What do they call that?
That
when you start buying sports cars. Is that what they call it? There it is. Boom shakalaka. Man. Hello there, fellow kids.
But let me pull it up here just so you guys can see where we're about to show you all of the delicious clips from. Joe Rogan Experience 2254. God damn. 2,254. Mel Gibson on Joe Rogan. Okay, this is where we will be consuming our clips from. Not this one specifically, but that's where they all came from. So if you want to go check it out, the whole thing, go do it. Joe Rogan Experience. Fuck him. So this was one concern I had. Do you think that we're boomer with Mel Gibson? Like, do you think people like Gen Z and below would know Mel Gibson for any reason? I feel like millennials like us oldies and older than us are the only people that are going to know Mel Gibson. Braveheart. I'm sure everybody loves a little Braveheart. What else do we got? He directed
The Patriot. Are we going to go through, or what are we listing, Danny? The least historically accurate movies of all time? Yeah, we got Braveheart. We got The Patriot. If it decides to take a hot steaming shit on the history that it was based on, Mel Gibson probably had something to do with it. Yeah, that's historical fiction too, by the way. Thank you for bringing that one up. God,
Lethal Weapon.
That's a good one, actually. I like all of those, especially Lethal Weapon 5.
I'm too old for this shit. Dude, I'm way too old for this shit.
The only one I like, which was very fitting, is the one where Mel Gibson plays a crazy conspiracy theorist. Who would have thought how things would turn out? I think it's called Conspiracy. I think that's what the movie's called. It's great. It's like Mel Gibson doing his best Charlie Kelly or his current era Mel Gibson, really. It's oh yeah, and then there's Mad Max. Whoops. No, we can never yeah, we can't take Mad Max away from him. Come on.
What about Payback? Shadow Humor says Payback is the best Mel Gibson movie. Have you seen that? I've never heard.
I don't think I've seen it.
Goodness gracious. Passion of the Christ, though, was really the first time, I think, as a kid or whatever, or teenager. I forget how old we were when it came out. But that was unless the South Park episodes happened before that, which could have. But I feel like my first who's Mel Gibson kind of thing was when Passion of the Christ came out. And like my mom took me to it and she said whatever about Mel Gibson. And then it was like from then on, everything I heard about Mel Gibson was terrible. He's saying he's bitching at his wife. He's fucking dropping N-bombs left and right. He's fucking Jew hate on the
getting pulled over for drunk driving and calling the cops sugar tits.
I mean, he is prolific for his chaos. So let's get into some of this. Okay, we talked about some of the movies. Hacksaw Ridge is another one too. I forgot about that. What are some of the iconic things I remember from Mel Gibson?
Signs.
Besides, well, Signs. Is right. Signs? Was he Signs?
Yeah, he was Joaquin's dad, right?
Interesting. I don't know.
Signs?
I can't remember, but
wrong kid, Dad.
Wrong kid, Dad. This is what I remember about Mel Gibson, okay? This is classic. We're just giving you a little backstory before we get into Joe. Now, there will be a part, and it's very telegraphed, Kevin. So, like, there will be a part where we clearly need to speak up and do, like, a little, like, self-censorship here. There will be one part where we obviously need to speak up, and we'll try to hit that, okay? You got to have my back here.
Okay. I'm ready. Yep. Leave it to me to censor things. That's a great call. I'm ready.
All right. So check this out. Mel Gibson racist phone call. Okay. This is his wife too, or girlfriend, I guess.
On July 9, 2010, RadarOnline.com released a recording of a phone call in which actor Mel Gibson yells at Oksana Grigorieva, the mother of his child.
Radar
in the recording,
online.
Gibson raises his...
As if the online wasn't implied, because radar.com was taken.
Yeah. Is this some like tabloid bullshit? Probably.
Voice and repeatedly uses profane language. He calls Grigorieva a whore and uses racial slurs to refer to African Americans and Latinos. The following audio clips contain offensive language and are not suitable for young audiences work environments.
I don't work
listen
around
to this at work.
Good thing we're at church.
I stay at home for most of the time.
Public, and it's a fucking embarrassment to me. You look like a fucking bitch on heat. And if
whoa,
you get
on
by
heat?
a pack of niggers,
Whoa.
all right?
That's
because you
wow.
You are
what the hell?
provocatively dressed all the time with your fake boobs. You feel you have to show off. I don't like it. I don't want that woman.
Oh yeah, because
he
married her because he hated her boobs and how they looked. I hate dudes like this, man. I hate that so much. Like, I'm the only one that's allowed to look. You better be wearing a crew necks. You better have a fucking turtleneck on if you ever go outside. I'm the only one who's allowed to be attracted to you. Was it Patrice O'Neal who did the whole comedy bit about like you don't want to date a woman that you can send out to the store at 3 a.m. for a loaf of bread? Like what is this weird obsession? Like you're the only one that's going to be attracted to your incredibly beautiful wife, and if she ever wears a tank top, she's a whore. She's a goddamn whore. And who probably paid for those fake boobs, by the way, Mel? Jesus, bud.
Here,
switch to downers, pal. You're gonna blow your heart up if you keep doing uppers like that.
I'm gonna roll this back a little bit, and then imagine this is him finding.
He paid for the boobs. I'm sorry, that's a guess.
Imagine this is him instead of calling his wife and bitching her out. Imagine this is him finding Bo Black's OnlyFans for the first time.
Okay.
Because you provoked it. You are provocatively dressed all the time with your fake boobs. You feel you have to show off. I don't like it. I don't want that woman.
I don't want that woman, Bo Blacks.
I don't believe you anymore. I don't trust you.
I don't trust you anymore, Bo
love
Blacks.
you.
Regarding the woman who
This a
works
Tom
at
Petty song?
Grigorieva's house, Gibson said the following.
I will fire her if she is at your house. I will make it known and fire her.
Fine.
I'll report her to the fucking people that take fucking money from the West.
Gibson also alluded to the use of physical violence.
Oh, okay.
Fucking bat in the side of the head.
Whoa!
My God, dude.
Near the end of the recording, Gibson made further reference to violence.
I'm threatening. I'll put you in a fucking rose garden, you cunt.
Oh my God.
Because I'm capable of it. You understand that?
For more information,
doubt him
please
for half
visit
a
the
second,
following
do you?
link.
Holy shit. Dude, I've heard people make threats
People
like that
forget.
before. I've never believed one so much in my life. He had a specific spot. He knew the Rose Garden specifically, right?
See, people forget how crazy this guy is. They saw him on Joe Rogan and they're like, "Oh, cool! Like Mel Gibson. I haven't heard from him in a long time. I love Braveheart." What was the URL name?
It was something.
Mahalo.com/Mel Gibson
something or
racist
other.
phone call. Oh. Unfortunately, Bo Black's boobs aren't fake. Yeah, they're very real. Oh, what's up,
Oh
maggot?
boy! Oh, what up, maggot? Good time to join us.
He did drop the hard R. That's Mel. That's Mel Gibby, baby.
Ooh,
Love that.
What a power couple. I'm with Ren on this one. Lauren and Mel. God, that's a podcast I'd listen to.
Here, I've got another one. This is great, okay? I mean, the funny thing also about all this is, like, I'm only showing you, like, tip of the iceberg shit. Like, there's, like, endless clips of Mel Gibson. There's so
did they
many.
break up?
Yeah, ex-girlfriend.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I would
Ex-girlfriend.
hope so. Jesus Christ.
Here, let's play this.
Mel Gibson has been caught out during another rage-filled rant, firing obscenities at a screenwriter in front of his teenage son.
It's so
part
much
of a
more
bitter feud
embarrassing when
between
a
the men
British
over a
person
failed
plays your
movie
shit out.
project.
Yeah, you think?
It's just so much more embarrassing. You've got this well-spoken Brit saying, and here we have a fucking idiot. Mel Gibson's at it again.
He's at it again, people. He's getting hit by the paparazzi now.
Mel, is there anything you want to say?
About what?
His
maybe
publicist blocked
Australian.
an
Damn.
explanation.
It's just not nice. It's not nice.
But Mad Mel didn't seem mad at all. And when Mel's mad, you know.
Who wants to eat? Who the f*** wants to eat? Go have something to eat! Hooray!
Huh.
Yeah, we've all been there before, right? You know, she can't decide where she wants to eat, so you just start screaming in her face. Who wants to eat then? God damn! I don't know. Isn't a restaurant, Cheryl? God damn, who wants to fucking eat some food? Hooray! Hooray! She picked the Olive Garden again. Hooray!
This is one I could actually relate to. Like, if I ever get canceled, it's going to be my wife leaking the 5-minute conversation we have before we finally decide what we're ordering on DoorDash. It goes a little something like this. I might remix this a little bit, but
You're so hungry, but you don't know what you want to eat.
And this is like stealth recording. This is a guy's son that is frightened and decided to record the happenings around him.
Honestly, this sounds like me when I place my order online and then I get to a very long line at the drive-thru. I'm like, oh, who wants to eat? Everybody wants to fucking eat. placed my
Same
order ahead
time
of
as
time.
me.
This is what I get. I specifically waited till 3:30 for lunch, and now there's a big fucking line. Everybody wants to eat. Hooray! Hooray!
I can
Yeah,
see
so this is perfectly normal to me. His son recorded this. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
This is road rage.
Shadow, this when Chick-fil-A's closed on Sunday.
So this is actually, so it's not Mel Gibson's son, but the director or writer or whoever that he's like, that Mel is bitching at, it's his son that's there at their place. I think it's at Mel Gibson's place. They say something about it here. Let's play.
That's Gibson ranting at screenwriter Joe Esterhaus last year in Mel's Costa Rica home, losing it over a failed project dubbed The Jewish Braveheart, Joe's terrified son.
So I don't know if you caught that, but the sequel to the sequel to Braveheart's about to be released here soon, and it's called Jewish Braveheart.
Who is the Jewish Braveheart? Is it Moses? Like,
It's
I would
Jesus
love.
himself.
Is it Jesus?
What do you mean?
Is?
Jesus
Yeah.
is
My favorite
the
part
Jewish Braveheart
of the New Testament is when Jesus is like, I am William Wallace. You know, it's good.
Is this just like one of those situations where they use like a code name for a movie that they're making? So like this was actually Passion of the Christ script that they're bitching about, but the code name for it was Jewish Braveheart.
Yeah. That is true. They do that. That would be great. I would love to hear that that's the case.
I don't think so. So here, yeah. Let's continue.
I
There's
am now
more.
angry too. I'm upset now knowing that Jewish Braveheart won't come to fruition.
God damn it! Where's the script?
Was recording.
So have you seen Chat and Kevin? Have you guys seen the episode of South Park where they do Mel Gibson? I mean, their Mel Gibson on the show is this right here. It is like spot on. Okay, their Mel Gibson in those episodes, or in the episode where they like fuck with him, sounds just like he does when he's screaming here.
This is like that clip of the crow that someone shared on Twitter. Dickle, dickle. It's like this doesn't sound like a human. Bro, you're an actor. Relax.
Oh dear God.
Oh,
Esterhaus blamed Gibson when the script bombed, branding him an anti-Semitic loon who called Jewish people oven dodgers, threatened to kill then partner
I've never heard that one before. That's a fucking... I feel like America has successfully removed that one from like a everyday insult. Oven dodgers. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy.
I don't know that I've ever heard that one before.
That is crazy, dude. That is top tier fucking anti-Semitism, dude. That is wild.
What?
That is fucking wild. Okay, let's continue.
Oh, wow.
Oksana Grigorieva and showed his young son degrading pornography. When Mel denied it, he published the tape.
Hold up. What? Hold up. I missed that last bit. Let's go back.
Dodgers threatened to kill then partner Oksana Grigorieva and showed his young son degrading pornography. When Mel denied it, he published the tape.
I gotta work. You're getting paid. I'm not.
Classic capitalist.
Mel apologised for the outburst, but it's not the first.
I don't want to cause him damage, but I do want to prevent damage.
Mel says he won't sue.
Jesus, sounds like
In the United States, Emma
Mel
Dellimore,
fed that guy
10 years.
rocks.
Mel said he
Jesus.
won't sue, so
Who
don't
wants
worry.
to eat? Here's some gravel for you. What was that guy? Gee, that's what happens. You work with Mel Gibson. You smoke 8 packs a day, and you sound like the Marlboro Man when you get out of it. That's
Fucking
horrible.
God, dude. That's
My
impressive,
goodness,
right?
it's weird that there's so much going on there that they just gloss over the fact that he was showing his son hardcore porn. Like, well, Timmy, it's time for the birds and the bees, and your bitch mother isn't here. She's too busy showing her cleavage off downtown to teach you about anything. Otherwise, she'd be here doing this. But I guess I got to teach you how to fuck something. Are you hungry? Who wants to eat? All right. This is how you do it. Watch this right now. Why are you crying? We're bonding.
I am crying, actually. This is a good one. Mel Gibson always makes me smile. That fucking crazy fuck. Terrible fucking freak of a human being.
Yeah, the joke doesn't even make sense. Not that I want to be breaking down anyone's anti-Semitism, but like, it wasn't even clever, you know?
No. No, not really. No.
Are you watching Corns?
Oh, God damn it, dude. I need to breathe.
He misheard method acting. He went to the Method 1 clinic for acting.
All right, stop.
He got a little acting
stop
juice.
it, guys. We're trying to have a show here, guys. Give me a break. We're trying to do a show here, okay?
Who wants to fucking eat?
If you want to eat, shut up.
Eat this hate.
Okay.
Right.
So here is, now we're gonna get into some of the Joe Rogan clips. Okay, so that's all like, this is like equivalent to, here, let me put it into terms that some of you guys will understand. Some of the viewers of the channel that have been around for a while. This is like when somebody finds that episode where iDubbbz goes on the H3 podcast and they say the N-word over and over and over again. They're like laughing to each other, saying the N-word. And somebody brings that up and is like, can you believe that Ethan Klein said the N-word? Look at this. He laughed with his friends saying the N-word over and over again. It's a lot like, this is a lot like that right now, okay? We're being petty. I'm looking up past clips of Mel, you know. I'm looking up, enough at the Oven Dodgers, guys.
Cut it out.
We need to make never mind. I was going to say we need to come up with a more clever one, but that is...
No, that's not the assignment, Danny. No.
I lost all train of thought after the Oven Dodgers came back up. So whatever I was saying, you know, good. This is Joe and Mel. We're at Joe and Mel now, okay? Oh, I was saying, yes, we talked shit about what he said in the past. Okay, he's grown as a human being. He's different now. Okay, that's what we're trying to say. He's different now. He would never say. He'd never say under Dodgers. He would never say Oven Dodgers these days. He wouldn't say something like that. Okay, he's a changed man.
Yes.
This is. Wow, I have 3 friends. All 3 of them had stage 4 cancer, and all 3 of them don't have cancer at all right now. This is Liz Churchill. Thanks for the clip, lady.
Dude, I can relate. The older you get, the fewer friends you have. You know, I vibe with that. Sounds like my grandpa. I got 3 friends, and all of them fought in Korea.
I seen all my friends die. I only got 3 friends left, okay? When you get to be my age...
Our only get-togethers are funerals at the VFW.
All right, Mel, tell us what's up, Mel. Tell us about your 3 friends, okay?
Love
I'll
you,
tell
Grandpa.
you a good story.
Okay.
I have 3 friends.
He really is my grandpa.
All 3 of them had stage 4 cancer.
Look how psycho he looks.
All 3 of them don't have cancer right now at all.
He should be a narrator.
And they had some serious stuff going on.
And what did they take?
Jesus. They took some, what you've heard they've taken.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Can we break this down at all?
You know, Joe. You already know, Joe.
See, these people like Mel, okay, are so full of fucking shit, dude. He doesn't even know this. He hasn't even thought this story through all the way yet. Like, he has not thought a second about where he's going with this. I got 3 friends. They had cancer. They don't anymore. Like, if Joe would have said, like, black magic, he would have been like, you know, okay, the South African black magic, they got it going on right here, okay? They brought in an idol. They started worshiping it. Okay. And yep, all of them have cancer-free now. Okay. South African idol.
Let's just say Stanley Kubrick died trying to reveal this. What about those 20 minutes of Eyes Wide Shut that were edited out? You ever ask about that? That's how they did it, Joe.
He needs
Sex
Joe
magic.
to fill in the blanks because he didn't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
He's like, you got the Looney Tunes out here. What were they taking? What was it? Something
He's like, I agree. We agree. Okay, what is it? Feed me.
What
the
you
line.
didn't know, Joe, that only Robert Kennedy Jr. knows is cancer is actually a worm, and so you take a dewormer, and wouldn't you know it?
Here we go.
Jesus. They took some.
They took some.
What
Meth.
you've heard they've taken.
Yep.
They took some.
Ivermectin.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot.
They drank hydrochloride something or other.
Oh, they
He
drink.
said they drink hydrochloride. I'm like, what is this? Is that bleach? Is that what they're doing? They're drinking bleach to cure their cancer? Is that what he's talking about? Is it like those fucking weirdos that sell those like magic potions that they mix up and send out to people that are in their religion to fucking eye drop into their eyes until they're blind or whatever?
My God, dude.
Drink some hydrochloroquine. Fuck yeah, dude.
And it's good because he did the grandpa thing. It's probably what he was trying to say was hydrochloroquine, but instead he says hydrochloride or something. He's like, yeah.
Right.
Next, he's gonna mix up acid and antacid and be like, oh yeah, if you have too much pizza, just take a little acid.
Pop a couple acid. You'll be all right. That's what I do every time I have heartburn.
Especially if it's a mushroom pizza.
Maybe you're onto something, Kevin. Maybe that's why he's so burnt out and fucked up at his age. He's confused between antacid and acid. And he's been dropping tabs every time he has heartburn. He's like, fuck it. Well, I don't have heartburn anymore.
That's crazy.
Oh, God. Let's go, Mel.
Oh, my God.
There's studies on that now where people have proven that
People
they've
drinking methylene blue and stuff like that.
Methylene
blue, which
blue?
was a fabric dye.
Does that go on my car?
Yeah, it was a textile dye. They find it has profound effects on your mitochondria.
My favorite season of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
When they robbed the
Stuff
train
works,
of that.
There's a lot of stuff that does work, which is very strange because, again, it's profit. When you hear about things that are demonized and that turn out to be effective, you always wonder, well, what is going on here? How is our medical institutions, how have they failed us so that things that do cure you are not promoted because they're not profitable?
Bro, someone tell me he's tweaking out, dude. He's thumping the desk. I can hear him, and I can also hear him breathe.
It's like,
sorry for that, gang, but Jesus,
who knows? Who knows if some of those medicines work or whatever? I would advise you to listen to your doctor about that. But he certainly just said like ivermectin, fendobendobrazole or whatever, and then hydrochlorine or something like. And then Joe's like, yeah, isn't it a shame that they just don't listen when stuff works and you try it and it works and they just don't want you to spread it in the news? And he just fucking invented a fucking chemical that he said his friends took and that'll cure you. Okay. It's like if somebody ever took this guy fucking for literal, which they never would, but if they took him serious and like, I could drink some hydrochlorine or whatever and I'll be good, huh? Like whatever. He's just making up shit. And Joe's like, yeah, they just don't believe people these days. What the fuck? It's like maybe if you stop the buck at like if they were just saying ivermectin and they're like, yeah, ivermectin works, and he's like, yeah, it's a shame, they don't let you take ivermectin and it works. We've heard them have this conversation 1,000 times, so it's fine. Joe has had this conversation before, whatever. I've heard it. But when he goes on and says like 10 made up fucking chemicals and drugs, yep. Shame they don't listen to you. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's such a chameleon. He's just like, oh yeah, it's just a damn shame. Just agrees with anything anybody says on his show. You come in there and tell Joe Rogan that he himself was an alien. He'd be like, get the fuck out of here. When did they abduct me? Is that why I don't have hair? Just buy it, dude.
I wanted to show you guys this though. So remember Martin Shkreli, the guy that raised that fucking like that parasite medicine from like $7 to like $750 and then went to jail for it and shit. Well, he says this. He says, Harold says, Martin, why do people believe ivermectin is some insane miracle drug? And Martin Shkreli says, because science literacy is at an all-time low and nobody reads anymore and people are restarted.
Oh, redacting that statement. Ho!
But take it. So, you know, if you need to hear it from a medical professional or maybe a professional criminal, Martin Shkreli says they're all stupid.
Man, if that guy's telling you it's a ripoff, geez.
He's like, he just doesn't own ivermectin, so he's not willing to say that it works.
That's right. Yeah, he doesn't have any
He can't
shares
raise
in
that
it.
price.
Yeah. He's got no skin in the game. I get it.
Okay, so here we go with another hot clip of Mel and Joe here. Let's listen.
This story that you want to tell about good and evil, like, do you have a script or is it just a thing in your head? Like, what is it?
Yeah, it's the resurrection story, but it's not linear.
Okay, so he's about to get into some very deep shit, but this is confirmation. If you want to take anything from this, confirmation that Passion of the Christ 2 or Passion of the Christ Resurrection is coming, folks, okay? It's there's a second coming of Jesus. It's about to happen, okay? And Mel is about to tell us what the resurrection, Passion of the Christ, is going to be about here. He says it's not linear. Not linear. So keep that in mind when you're trying to piece this together, what he's saying here. It's like, well, it's a very conceptual film. Okay? You got to think about it in like I don't know, it's hokey pokey terms, you know.
I can't wait. This is great. I like Harl says memento, but make it holy.
Here we go.
Because you can't really, it's hard to understand. So it's got to be put in a framework.
Okay.
Oh, he's
where you
definitely
answer
on
a few
boat.
other questions as well. And
I've
you have
had
to
this
juxtapose
conversation
the
so
event
many
itself
times.
against everything else, so that it makes some kind of sense.
Yeah, bro. It's like
in
this
a bigger
great
picture, which
it's
is
gonna be like Eyes Wide Shut meets Pulp Fiction, dude. It's like this non-linear love story, bro, but it's got action and drama. Yeah, I've heard this. Normally it's in someone's kitchen and the other person's talking a little too loudly for a house party. You know, you're like, hey, bro, calm down. I'm standing right in front of you. Just calm down. But no, I think I've heard this exact movie pitched to me. And it's always, oh, yeah, I've got it written down. He definitely has a draft. It's not all just living in his head. I actually saw an episode of The Office about this the other day. This is like when Andy loses his job. And so he writes the rock opera about the evil Thomas Oregon who wants to destroy all the guitars and make sure no one is happy. Yeah, I've been here.
It is. You're right, though. It's very reminiscent of like a conversation you have in your mid-20s right after you dropped acid with your homies. You crumbled the shrooms all up in your peanut butter and jelly, and you're like, okay, man, I could ride this one forever, dude.
We should do a live action remake of Yellow Submarine, bro. It'd be sick. But with like our own music.
That's right. I think we've done that, though.
hard thing to do. And it took my brother and I about, and a guy called Randall Wallace, plus my brother and I, took us 6-7 years to write it.
So are you doing this with historians as well? Are you trying to make it?
Yeah, right.
Historical stuff. Well, I regard the Gospels as history. It's verifiable history. Some people say, oh, it's a fairy tale. He never existed, but he did. And there are other...
There you go. He never existed, but he did.
Hi. 7 years to write
with his brother and historians
when you already have the source material. And again, I think it was hilarious. And even Joe or even Mel giggled Joe off when he said, he's like, yeah, historical accuracy. Because again, I will once again point out Braveheart, the Patriot, this dude could give a fuck about historical accuracy of anything. Probably didn't even check in the Bible. He's like, oh yeah, the gospel, it's history. It's been proven. People He's pulling the Trump. Some people don't like the gospel. Some people say it's history. I happen to think it's real history. Okay.
So the Bible, the gospel is verifiable history, he says. So keep that in mind too later for later on here. But let's continue.
Stuff. Well, I regard the Gospels as history. It's verifiable history. Some people say, "Oh, it's a fairy tale." He never existed, but he did. And there are other accounts, verifiable historical accounts outside the biblical ones that also bear this up. That yes,
not
he
as
did
exist. That say that he didn't.
And the other aspect of that is that all the evangelists, the apostles who went out there. Every single one of those guys died rather than deny their belief. And nobody dies for a lie.
Right.
So
no one believes
that one.
No one dies for their religious beliefs either, right? Just because they believed it was true doesn't make it a fact, you fucking moron. What is this guy? Who is this guy? Is he even an American citizen, by the way? Didn't this guy come from Australia? You just talked the accent away over the last 40 years. Send him back. Send him back to that fucking island prison. Get him out of here. Or New Zealand, whichever one is the wonkiest. Get him over there. All right, I'm tired of it. Go rustle up some shitstorm on somebody else's rock there, Mel.
So that's part of what I'm doing. It's like showing nobody dies for a lie.
Yeah, well, the resurrection
so
is
he
the
faked
one
the
that
accent?
is
Damn
the
it.
most difficult for people to swallow.
Yes.
That's the one that requires the most faith.
The most faith and the most belief. Yeah, resurrection.
Yeah.
Who gets back up 3 days later after he gets murdered in public?
It's an allegory for the sun, you stupid
under his own
idiot.
power. Buddha didn't do that shit.
Buddha didn't do that shit, Kevin. Okay.
Oh my God. My God's better than your God. That's where we're at, Mel. Is that where we are? You grown up adult man?
Like none of it made any sense whatsoever until the last few moments here were the parts that stuck with me. Yeah, I just want to go back and play it again. When he says, "Well, the hardest part to believe is the resurrection." I love that.
Dies for a lie.
Yeah, well, the resurrection is the one that is the most difficult for
Because
people
it's
to
not,
swallow.
because it doesn't make sense.
That's the one that
He
requires
died.
the most faith.
The most faith and the most belief. Yeah, resurrection.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the same word.
Who
Mel. Good
who
job.
gets back up 3 days later after he gets murdered in
That's
public?
a good question. Mel?
Who gets back up under his own power? Buddha didn't do that shit.
That's
Right.
because Buddha couldn't do that. Shit. Imagine that.
You believe that was a real event?
I want the Buddha didn't do that shit clip. I need that.
But so he believes that was a real event.
True,
He came back to life. Okay.
Facts,
So,
dude. And
we're
we
learning.
know if there's anyone who's a staple on historical accuracy, it is Mr. Mel Gibson.
So this one is my right after that one. Okay, keep everything he said there in mind. The Bible is verifiable. The gospel is verifiable. Okay, everything there is verifiable. It's all real. Okay, Mel believes all that. The resurrection took place. Now ignore what this.
It's weird that more gay people aren't being turned into salt pillars, though. That's the one that I'd like to investigate.
Burning into ash. Yes.
Yeah. God's gone soft.
So ignore the text here that is paired with this clip. You know, there's no reason that I would pull up this tweet with this text here for you guys to read. Just completely ignore it. We're only gonna look at the clip. Don't read what this guy has.
Oh no, it's redacted. So much of that should be
redacted. Okay, listen here. Mel, okay, take it away, Mel.
Oh, good call.
What are your thoughts on evolution?
Uh-oh.
The Darwin thing?
Yeah.
I don't really go for it.
No?
Yeah. Ice Age, dinosaurs, you know. What did they turn into?
Oil.
I mean, things became extinct at some point. I don't think I was some kind of like, you know, legless thing that crawled out of the ocean.
Well, no shit, dude, because you're you right here, right now.
I think I was created.
You dumb fuck.
No, he was
me?
created, Kevin. Okay, he was
I don't
created.
think I
Okay,
evolved from some snail, brother.
He didn't even come out of anyone's. He didn't even come out of a woman's he didn't go through the process of a normal. He came from a stork.
Right. That's
he
true.
was created and dropped here from a stork. Okay. He didn't go through the normal processes that we all do to be born onto this earth. Okay.
You hear that voice? He might be a Viltrumite, dude. He might have been sent here to save us. Like Jesus before him.
Oh, he's so fucking unhinged, dude. It's so
There-
funny. He's like, you mean dinosaurs? Duh. He's like, the resurrection thing? That vibes with me. Dinosaurs? Duh.
Yeah, man, dinosaurs, no. And, as Kang mentions, folks like Mel Gibson and Russell Brand, probably not a good representation of others.
Terrible.
There, believe it or not, there are plenty sane people in all kinds of religions. To be fair, and most of them are probably better people than me. Because who am I to make fun of Mel Gibson's religion? That was very wrong of me, and I will do better on a Sunday of all days. Man, I'm gonna get thrashed.
We're here to talk. We're here to talk about the gospel and how it's verifiable, Kevin. Okay. We got mixed Tupac and Chupacabra. What do you get? How do you say it?
Tupacabra.
Tupacabra. Tupacabra here on Twitter has a dank ass AI generated clip to be paired with some of this gospel talk from Mel on the Joe Rogan podcast. This is our last clip here of the Mel Ventures. Okay, so really take this one in. Really take this one in, guys. It's got perfect imagery here.
He's going full David Icke. Okay, good to know.
I mean, we got a pope that brought a South American idol into the church to worship.
Really?
He did. The Pachamama. He brought and he got.
I don't know what that is.
It's kind of like a South American god, Pachamama.
Why would he do that?
Good question. But he did.
So he brought that in.
Yeah, into the Vatican. Then the hierarchy even worshipped.
The music sets the tone.
That constitutes apostasy.
Yeah, worshiping false gods.
Yeah. Moses goes up on the mountain. He comes back down. People are worshiping a golden calf.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
So you can't do that.
Do you think there's a motive behind these things?
I don't think.
So Mel is onto something here. He thinks that the Pope is worshiping a false South African god, the Pachamama,
which is only one step away from the Pope is actually worshiping Satan, which is what David Icke, at least at one point, believed. He believed that the moon was a satellite that was beaming signals down from Saturn. The rings of Saturn are actually sound waves, and they reflect those beams off of the moon. And that's what creates the 3D matrix that we all live in. And the Romans knew this. That's why they worship Saturn and Saturnalia. And that's what the Roman Catholic Church is still doing to this day. They are still worshiping Satan, Lucifer, the morning star. Okay, this is just the next step, just to save you all some time. The TLDR of what is going to be Mel's inevitable next step is the Pope is a Satanist. So there you go. Don't say I never did anything for you. And like and subscribe.
Mel for Pope, actually, if you ask me.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. But it isn't good. I think we're
He's like, do you believe they're doing it for a reason? He says,
I'm not.
Probably. Then he says, what reason would they do that for? I don't know, dude. What?
Yeah, there is a lot of Catholic hate out there, and some even some Reformed Catholics out there, some former Catholics that do not like the practice. So yeah, maybe there's something to it. I will just say this: Rome, not necessarily the beacon of honesty. And wouldn't you know
shut your mouth.
The more you know about your history, the more you can probably believe that the Roman Catholic Church is pretty nasty. There's probably no reason for them to have all of that shit tucked away in a private library. Like, why do they have things that other people can't see? How
many times a week do you think about the Roman Empire, Kevin?
Not as often as I used to.
You're not a Chad then.
Because I'm not based. Once it became like a base Chad thing to do, I said, well, I better move on to a different point in history. That Marcus Aurelius was an idiot. If he's speaking to Andrew Tate, my God, dude.
Oh, okay. Let's hear them out.
What a sucker.
Things.
I don't think he. Well, probably.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. But it isn't good. I think we're looking at a world where, and this is in the next film I'm going to do. I'm going to try and tackle this question.
So this is your preview for
that there are
resurrection
big realms, spiritual realms. There's good, there's evil, and they are slugging it out.
No shit, dude.
Have you heard of this before? Revolutionary ideas here. Good. Okay, versus evil. Okay, and they're slugging it out.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not it.
This
That's
is a
not
new
it.
one.
It doesn't stop there, Kevin.
For the souls of mankind.
For the
and
souls
my question is, why
of
are
mankind.
We even important? Little old flawed humanity. Why are we important in that process?
That's right.
Where the big realms are slugging it out over us. And I think there's bigger things at play here.
Why would the bigger realms be fighting over our souls, Kevin? What's at play here? What's at stake?
Because we're all like potatoes. We're just all human batteries. And so they gotta.
So we're like food. They eat us.
If you buy into the physical world, right? If you are secular, then you're stuck here and you have to relive this life cycle over and over again. And then you're used as free labor for the demon lizards from planet Nibiru that actually are in charge. That's the deal, right? That's why you have to ascend. And if you ascend, you get to go on and just kind of float around, which will be pretty cool.
Right.
But I'll be stuck here forever.
I think I'm with V-Dub here. He says if his next movie has a CGI angel versus demon battle, it's got to be Satan versus Jesus, you know, and they're like shooting lightning bolts and fire at each other like, fuck you.
But they do the MCU thing where they bring in people from other IPs. So like Hellboy turns on the devil because he's a good guy. And he's like,
they do the iconic fucking,
you go to hell.
The iconic Captain America thing where, what does he say? What's the thing?
He's like, on your left. Or I could do this all day.
That's the one I was thinking.
I could do this for eons. And Jesus just like,
he's like, Jesus, on your left.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to watch this.
Hell yeah.
And institutions that purport to touch on the divine are necessarily going to be affected by that slugfest that's going on between good and evil.
Right. And sometimes good gives up ground.
Yeah.
Sometimes
and maybe not
good gives
purpose.
Up ground, Kevin.
You know, maybe there's some deception involved or self-deception.
Right. Co-opted.
Like every morning when I wake up,
I
actually pray that I don't deceive myself.
You should say that mantra a few more times there, bud.
I pray every morning that I don't deceive myself. Okay, folks. Well, there's your Mel Gibson for the day. That's our gospel that we're preaching. No more churchy talk after halftime. Okay, it is halftime, folks. Kevin,
in that case, I'm gonna go exercise a demon real quick, gang.
Kevin,
I shall return.
On your left.
On your left.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, yes. I mean, Mel, quite a guy, huh? Quite a character. And like I said, it seems like he's going on like a press tour because spoilers for the next topic or for where we're going on the next part of the show, the LA fires and stuff we'll talk about a little bit. Mel has done some press about the LA fires too. So we'll listen to him talk about that and maybe hear some funny stuff there. So hell yeah, Mel, even more Mel on the other side. Okay. At the halftime, I like to shout out some folks that are members on YouTube. So here we go. Kangalope, Jack Shivani, Headbug Inc., Rapid Danger, Sleek the Geek, Kia Cat. And you know what? I did not update the list from last week. So if there are any new ones, we'll catch you next week on that shout out. But we appreciate all of you, okay? We appreciate all of you. Um, Headbug has some advice for Kevin Weiss in the bathroom. Make sure you untuck. Man, dude. I mean, again, like I said, I don't know what you guys think in the chat about the Bo Black situation, but do you think it's over for him, or do you think he does? Do you think because he did this whole stream earlier this week where he was like, fuck it, I'm going to stream, rip the Band-Aid off. They can say what they want to say, you know? And he kind of leaned into it. He was like, I let chat make fun of me for 5 hours straight, and here's the edit or whatever. So, like, do you guys foresee Bo Black's doing that in this situation? Do you think he'll fully embrace the OnlyFans, say, fuck it, my cock's out there, you know? Fuck it. Fuck it. I like to wear dress. I like to tuck. I like to do the mangina. Fuck it. He may just lean right into it, okay? And forgive tipster or apologize to tipster. That's a whole new audience that he can co-opt. I'm just giving him advice because it's like career advice almost, because the real unfortunate thing for Bo Blacks is I don't know anything about him in real life, so who knows, but just from what I do know of him, the online stuff, it seems like he's going to have a horrible time adapting to a real job. Am I right? Yeah, make sure did you untalk, Kevin?
I did, yep.
All right. I will pass the mic to you. I will be right back. Enjoy halftime with Kevin, folks.
All right, halftime. Should we talk about more secret knowledge? Talk about the ancient aliens of it all? I would one of these days. I don't know if it's fit for the clout route. I don't know how I would do it, but I would just love to go into different conspiracy theories and chat about them, because sometimes they get pretty damn hilarious. Other times they make it hard to sleep at night. All right. Speaking of a hard night's sleep, not a hard night's sleep. Speak your esoteric truths, Kev. See, there we go. You want to know what I believe? I believe we are all fragments of the same being, experiencing itself subjectively, and that we eventually have to level up so we can get out of here. All right. That's what I believe. I don't believe there's a good guy God and a bad guy God. I think we're all part of some dream. There's maybe one of us. Maybe it's one of you guys right there in the chat. When you go, we all go. Maybe I'm just an NPC over here. It would make sense. Very bald, very bearded. There's a lot of bald, bearded white dudes with glasses. So it could make sense that I'm just here filling space, working on a low power, some low RAM here. And I'm the only reason I'm here is because you're listening, right? The observed particles behave much differently. So for all I know, when you guys aren't here, I'm just like walking my house in a circle, like some kind of weird Sims character that hasn't been assigned a task. And I'm just like, oh, it's time for a stream.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, we're getting real deep. We're talking about philosophy and my views on life. I was sharing my religion with everyone on this Sunday.
I took chat's advice and I dedicated that restroom break to Bo Blacks. I sat down when I peed.
I didn't see that coming. Ice cream's so good. I like that one. Hash says Dreamland is its own place. We spend way too much time sleeping. I saw a meme the other day that's like, what if when you can't sleep, it's because the dream servers are full and you got to wait for someone to log off?
Wow.
Hey, man.
Wow. Don't that now we're starting to get into some Matrix red pill shit, dude.
Got to unplug. We're all just potato batteries. That's all it is.
That's for sure. That's right. So I kind of I spoiled it a little bit before I went on break. Mel is actually in our next segment too, starting it off. Again, I want to say our hearts go out to people in LA that have been affected by the fire, as Kevin laughs.
Sorry, I've got really bad timing with that stuff, man.
No, but our hearts go out to the people in LA. If you've been affected by the fire, that I'm sure that sucks. I'm sure it's fucking crazy, fucking nut job hell on earth situation to go through that I can't even begin to relate to. But sometimes, I don't know. I feel like it's lost on people sometimes. Like, when you do a horrible thing, when you do horrible things, okay, when you do terrible things, when you're an asshole, when you're a shitty guy, you know, whatever, there's varying degrees to it. But like, when you're a shit person actively, people start to not like you.
Oh,
You know, when you, especially, and when you're famous and you're a shit person, like, a lot more people know what you say and do, and a lot more people don't like you. You know what I mean? Like way more
tracks.
people don't like you when you're a shitty famous person. So when these shitty famous people say shitty things online, and then like bad things happen to them, they almost expect that like they get treated like a normal human being in that instance. In every other instance, they're a rich fucking whatever, you know, privileged motherfucker. But in the instance that something happens to them, they want to be treated the same as every other human being online, and everybody to feel bad for them, and that's it. But when you act like a shitty person all the time, people are not going to wish you well when bad things happen to you as a shitty person. I mean, I feel like that makes a lot of sense, right? If you're shit, people aren't going to feel bad for you.
yes. Yeah, I think that tracks 100%.
Okay.
People might even cross that line and start feeling good when bad things happen to you. And that's their own karma to deal with, but
yes,
it happens. Certainly does.
you might be onto something here. Okay. You might be onto something. So Mel was at Joe Rogan's studio recording. Okay.
Those eyes.
During the LA fires, and lo and behold, something happened while he was at Joe Rogan's house.
Look at those eyes, man.
Well, you know, I know they were messing with the water, letting reserves go for one reason or another.
Oh, we're on to this one again, huh?
California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as
Sure.
why they do things. And then
Well, I would agree with that. I think everyone agrees with
sort
that.
of look, oh, is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think.
Yeah, it is.
But one begins to ponder whether
This
or
is-
not
this
there
is
is
a
a
news
purpose in
channel,
mind.
dude.
What could it be? You know, I don't know. Do they want the state empty? I don't know.
Well, Mel, there's
She's even
Oh.
like perplexed by what he's saying. He's like, maybe they want to burn the whole state down. Maybe they want the state to be empty. Think about that. You know, maybe, I don't know. And she's like, yeah, buddy. I mean, this is like, what's this lady's name? Laura Ingraham or something? Is that her name? Is that her? Yeah.
I thought that was the girl from Little House on the Prairie. Anyway,
No, that is an Ingram.
Laura Ingraham Wild or something. Yeah.
Somebody's
That's
laughing.
nobody
at us
get.
for
I
that
hope
one.
one person gets that fucking joke. Jesus
Somebody's
Christ.
laughing at us
How
for that
old
one.
am I? My God, dude.
But
I watched too
she
much
would
Nick at Night as a
typically.
kid.
They have Mel on Fox News for a reason. You know, like they usually agree with him, but even she is like lost in the sauce on this one. Like, what the fuck did you just say? Yeah, Harles loves it, right?
Yes.
Little House on the Prairie. Great stuff.
Let's go.
So Mel's house burnt down while he was at Joe Rogan's place recording that podcast. And, you know, he believes, it's interesting. He believes in all these things like the Bible and the resurrection or whatever. But like, you don't take anything from your house got burnt down while you're on Joe Rogan saying crazy
Well, he
ass
knows.
shit.
He knows what happened. What happened was
Is that
a
not
God-fearing Christian by the name of Hulk Hogan showed up in an LA arena, and he was booed off stage by all the heathens. And God said, "You know what? I have a different thought about that." And he said, "Smite ye all of those who would besmirch the blessed Hulk Hogan."
Oh.
That's what happens.
Oh.
He's a reformed racist, okay? He never actually apologized. He just said, be careful what you say because people are recording you a lot when you're famous. So he never actually apologized for any of the racist stuff he said, but he did switch between Scientology back to Christianity. So I feel like that's probably what happened, Danny, and Mel knows that. He just can't say it.
Advent might be onto something here. I'm surprised he was on Fox News and he didn't say Jewish space lasers one time.
So what happens when you say oven dodgers on Elon or on Elon's show, on Joe Rogan's show? Same thing.
Well, they're not oven dodgers anymore. The modern day term is laser dodger.
Ooh.
I'm dodging those Jewish space lasers left and right, bitch. Okay.
Mel was a Scientologist. No, Hulk, not Mel. Sorry, got my brothers.
You got your brothers mixed up. But really, with these LA fires, like I noticed for one that Twitter did as Twitter do. And it's like when something bad happens, they somehow like capitalize on that and make it and like be worse. You know what I mean? Like terrible things happen and they're like, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yes. I can make a bomb ass tweet about this. Okay. So Twitter did as Twitter do. And they're like, well, rich people's houses are burning down. Haha. I mean, essentially is the through line there. And James Woods happens to be one of those people being victimized on Twitter. Okay, James Woods and his family are in LA around the LA fires, perhaps victims of the LA fires. And people are really giving it to him on Twitter, and you wonder why. And I think this might help a little bit. Here's a quote tweet. James Woods says, all the smoke detectors are going off in our house and transmitting to our iPhones. I couldn't believe our lovely home in the hills held on this long. It feels like losing a loved one. So touching stuff from James Woods about his house in LA. This guy says, this guy really wants us to feel bad for him after tweets like this. Fuck you, James Woods. James Woods says, no ceasefire, no compromise, no forgiveness. And if that wasn't enough, those three phrases there, he says, hashtag kill them all. Like, what the fuck, dude? Okay, come on, James. Come on, James. Okay, can we talk about this a little bit? Like, no ceasefire, no compromise, no forgiveness. That wasn't enough. I think
it kind of says, yeah, you can pick one or the other, I think, and it gets your message across. You could pretty
probably
clearly
pick any one of those phrases and kind of like, we get it. Yeah, I get it, James.
Rule
I get
of threes,
it,
brother.
But yeah, rule of threes. That's good in comedy or whatever. But he did four. He did four, Kevin.
I know, it's simple.
Hashtag kill them all. Okay, that's not part of the formula.
Math ain't mathin'.
James. So I saw a lot of people like having this conversation where he says stuff like that, and they're like, I can't, like, my heart goes out to you, James Woods. I can't believe people are treating you like that or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
I saw someone celebrate it as a miracle. And I hate to even call it, I don't know if it was like a Pentecostal account. It was some kind of fake Christian account. Like the name was some kind of Bible verse, but it wasn't really, you look through, I had no choice once I saw this person tweet in response to James Woods that it was a miracle that after all, the dude in a video shows a burnt down high school and his entire neighborhood is burned down except him and like his neighbor's house. And then there's this idiot saying, oh, it's a miracle from God that the rich person's house didn't burn down. Only these other poors below the hill, their shit burned down, but God saved your house, James Woods. So of course I had to look at that, and that was the probably the most godly thing I found on that Twitter account. But it's got to be a bit of an oxymoron, right? To have any kind of religious account on Twitter. Like, it's sort of like you're just trying to save souls from inside hell itself. It's like, come on, you're kind of a lost cause here, brother. What are you doing here?
But yeah, I mean, as Kevin said there, that's where we're going here. Here is James Woods on CNN, okay? And somebody reminded us down here at the bottom when he said the hashtag, little tweet there. So we've got that in frame. But here, listen to James on CNN.
I'm 77 years old, man. I can't walk up these hills. It's like Mount Everest there. It's like, pretty steep. So, it's just I posted this on X, but Sarah was on with her 8-year-old niece last night. And she came out. I'm sorry. Just, one day you're swimming in the pool and the next day it's all gone. But
hey, underappreciated actor. Very underappreciated actor. You see this?
For us to rebuild our house.
So you heard that. Okay, let me go back just a little bit.
All gone, but
all
she
gone.
came out with her little Yeti piggy bank.
She came out with her piggy bank
for us to rebuild our house.
Who? First of all, this rich
James
bastard.
Woods,
your niece has a Yeti piggy bank.
Your house, maybe starting with that little.
That little
Yeti
kid's got more in her
piggy
savings
bank,
account than
and
I
we're
do.
just glad that you're okay, and your wife is okay.
I'm sorry,
You have your
I'm
lives.
usually-
Yeah, no, I mean,
thought-
this is real and it's raw.
I thought I
and
would
you,
be stronger than this.
Real and raw.
you know what? Strength is not measured by whether, you hold in crying or not. Strength is what you are doing now and helping your neighbors and shining a light on the great, amazing work of all those firefighters and emergency crews out there. You have so much strength, and we appreciate you coming on to reflect what so many others.
Shut up, James. She's trying to exit. Quit talking over her, James.
That's a defeated man. Look at this man.
Be a professional, Jim.
So much has happened to him. So much has happened.
It's just like you are experiencing in that raw emotion right now. We wish you the best, you and your wife, as you rebuild your lives. So many people are doing that right now and trying to process what's going on. So, James, and also keep us posted on your 94-year-old neighbor and everything going there. We're going to continue to talk. And we
keep us posted on your neighbor, James. Hope your house is fine. Even his wife jumps in here, okay? He's crying about his house being burned down and getting shit on Twitter. So Sarah Miller Wood says, this is a quote tweet of, let's see if I can find it.
There it is. Karen Piper.
Karen Piper says, James Wood's house is burning down. It's karma calling. So Sarah says, you are disgusting. Our little sweet home is probably gone. Probably gone. Our neighbors' homes are gone. You know that one for sure. Our community is ravaged because of the ineptitude of Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom. And you're rejoicing because you disagree with my husband. Absolutely disgusting. Shame on you. How dare you rejoice about her house burning down? Okay, James Woods and her house burning down. And you're going to make fun of them and laugh at them and hurt them like that? You're going to do that?
Horrible.
You're going to really do that? A miracle has happened, Kevin.
That's what it was.
We managed to get our property and our home that we were told is gone forever. We managed to get our property and our home that we were told is gone forever, is still standing. James Woods is not, the grammar isn't here, okay? We managed to get our property and our home that we were told is gone forever is still standing. He messed something up there. In this hellish landscape, standing is relative. But smoke and other damage is not like the other destruction around us, the view from our deck and area. So
standing is not you fucker.
God.
Standing is relative because we do have smoke damage, okay?
No, motherfucker, look around you. He's still trying to get in you should still feel kind of sorry for me though, because look what happened to everybody else. Fucker, you still got green grass right there.
I mean,
flames didn't get up the hill to you. Come on.
It shows here at the end. They're like looking next door.
Alone.
Okay. So they're 90. Their 94 5-year-old. Here's the update for their 95-year-old's fucking house next door. Their 95-year-old neighbor. Here's their update. Here's your update.
It's good.
This is your update. James Woods' house is fine. Minor smoke damage, whatever. He went on there and cried about his house getting burnt down. Okay. His wife was on a tirade on Twitter about, I can't believe you would say this. My house is burnt down. I'm homeless. I'm homeless. A miracle has happened.
We made it.
Kevin. A miracle. So, I mean, I just want you guys to like take that in a little bit. This motherfucker, I mean, Kevin is right. An actor of our generation, I guess, because he went to every possible outlet to cry a fucking river about how much of a victim he is or whatever. After all the disgusting thing it doesn't even matter who it's about, okay? I know for some reason the Israel-Palestine thing is really polarizing, whatever, but I feel like it doesn't even matter what people we're talking about, okay? You can be talking about anybody. And he says, hashtag kill them all, of anybody, any kind of person, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So this motherfucker is on Twitter saying, kill all these people, and then goes on news and cries about how his house burned down and how terrible it is and how his granddaughter had to give her last penny out of her piggy bank to him to repair his house. And lo and behold, God fucking shined a light down on James Woods' house and made sure that one out of all of them was protected somehow. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about here? This guy is a fucking loser. And I see people I feel bad. Like, one of the people I saw was like K-Huck. K-Huck, shouts out to K-Huck. She watches sometimes. And it's like, I think she's a very nice person. She has all the best intentions. She is more like somebody has been hurt and I feel sorry for them. And I saw her tweet on the James Woods thing, like, oh, I feel sorry for your family or whatever. And like,
I feel sorry for his family every day of the year, to be clear, but sure.
That's the kind of shit that's fucked up, though. It's like James Woods has now made somebody innocent, feel bad for him for what has happened. And nothing happened. Nothing even happened to him.
How else is he going to get a job that isn't a part-time Family Guy gig? How else is he going to get a job?
He's just a pathetic human being. I feel fucking sorry. I just feel bad that there's people that actually feel bad for this motherfucker. Like, for real? Nice people are out there wasting their fucking thoughts and feelings on this fucking scumbag.
I mean, to
Fuck
be
you
fair,
and your house. Burn
Video
it.
Drone is an underappreciated movie, okay? It's a weird little sci-fi horror. I think James Woods plays his role perfectly as a real shit heel that you don't really necessarily want to root for. It's great. It's a good little piece of sci-fi.
I mean, Harles is onto something. I guess this is a message from God, huh? He's like, I'm going to burn Mel Gibson's house down, but we're going to save James Woods' house. So start preparing for those salt pillars, folks. Yes.
Oh, I bet Mel's got some allegations he's flinging James Woods' way. You think what you've seen on Twitter publicly that's being put towards James Woods is bad? It's got nothing compared to the voicemails Mel Gibson's been leaving him. Why didn't they take your house, huh? You on their side, you dirty.
Yeah.
You know the rest.
Yeah, right.
You got the rest figured out.
Yeah. I wonder what he would
Whose
call
team
James
are you
Woods.
on, James?
I wonder what he would call James Woods.
I got some ideas.
Oh. Yeah. So, and then last but not least, okay, while we're making our tirade on comedy itself, okay, while we're attacking comedians everywhere. I mean, I don't know if James Woods counts as a comedian. I don't think so. He's an actor, but Joe, we took some shots at Joe, and his show, I guess.
JD Vance.
JD Vance.
He's doing like he's doing an Andy Kaufman thing that people just aren't in on it yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So after we've made a few comments about comedians already, we might as well take one last trip to Whitney Cummings, okay? Another comedian that is, they're not letting her do her comedy, Kevin, okay? The woke mob won't let her do it. She can't do comedy no more, okay? They won't let her. They won't let her. And I find this funny because I make a tweet about Whitney Cummings the other day about her being pathetic because she is pathetic. But like, I barely say anything. Like, I kind of make a joke. I get. Well, I'll let you guys be the judge, okay?
You be the jury.
I feel like I barely said anything, but you might disagree. I said this will age well. I'm sure Whitney Cummings won't remember the moment she went on Jimmy Dore to be unfunny about the wokes as a major regret and the ultimate downfall of her career. Just like being butt buddies with Chris D'Elia. I mean, that part maybe gets me some shit from her. She's like offended that I said she was butt buddies with Chris D'Elia, but I mean, she had a television show with him. What can I say? They were friends. But anyways, I post this vanilla. If you ask me, this is nothing. Block. Instant block from Whitney Cummings.
Butt Buddies was quite the burn back in my day,
Damn
Danny.
it.
That might have been a scorched earth one for you.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to be on the good side of the two broke girls lady, but I guess it's not meant to be. But yeah, she went on Jimmy Dore here and she was like fucking crying about how she can't tell jokes. And in her last special, she made a Tim Walz joke and she felt like she had to take it out because the woke mob was coming after her for it. So let's listen to her on Jimmy Dore here. It's unfunny, so sorry if you're waiting for something hilarious.
If there's one thing I know, it's that cancel culture is real, especially in the world of stand-up comedy.
We're the last line of defense, Kevin, when it comes to comedy here.
Yeah, there's very little.
The time I really broke was a couple months ago, because I was like, let me stay out of politics. Jimmy does that. Kurt does that. Bill Maher does it. It's not my, I just don't want to.
He says, she says, Jimmy does that. Kurt does that. Bill Maher does that. No one knows who Jimmy Dore is. I'm sorry. Jimmy Dore does political comedy. No one knows who the fuck. I know who Jimmy Dore is because I'm fucking relentlessly online.
Didn't he come up with global warming or something when that former president, Jim Dore, I think?
Right, yeah, exactly.
I think he sold out
no one knows who the fuck dumbass Jimmy Dore is, okay? Jimmy Dore does political comedy. But I love that. He did, too. That's right. Thank you, Kanga.
He also played himself in that one episode of Workaholics. He played a pedophile. Wasn't that weird?
Wow, he played a pedophile a lot.
Yeah. It's a weird thing to be typecast for. But I guess
on shit I'm not an expert on.
You said what?
I guess you got to know the role, right? To get to that headspace. Not everybody can do it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
He also went to the Method 1 acting clinic.
I am an expert on hypocrisy. So that's when I started being able to say something, is when I posted about Tim Walz and the fact that I found out that he had gone to China.
Yes. Yeah.
Over 30 times.
He went
and
to
I
China.
did a whole section on my podcast, posted about it. I had to take it down. People were calling me racist. People were I was like, what, he did go with boys. I can make that joke.
So he was a teacher and he went to China with children. Okay. School children. But she's wondering why she's being called a racist for being, she's like, whoa. Her joke is, whoa, Tim Walz went to China a bunch of times and he's about to be the vice president. Isn't that weird or whatever? And she's like, people were calling me racist for that one. Yeah, Whitney, how fucking dumb do you have to be to not be able to connect the dots here, okay? You said, oh my God, he went to China. Why would it be a problem that he went to China? Well, he went to China 30 times, okay? He went to China 30 times. What's wrong with China? I mean, are we following here? Like,
well, and
one
also,
step away from being like, he's going to China all the time. Why does he love the Chinese so much? Fuck the Chinese. I mean, like, it's I mean, like, we keep going with it, Like, no wonder people said you were a racist bitch for making jokes about why does he go to China?
And
what's wrong with going to
also,
China? That's why people
add,
make that. I mean, that's why people make that connection. When these people get all bent out of shape about wokies getting upset, it's like, you don't get why people make these criticisms of your joke? Because you should. You wrote the joke. Like, how do you not know? It frustrates me.
I think if you make a joke pointed at one political party or the other, regardless of whether I agree on your particular take or not, your dumb ass should be prepared that half of the United States is going to hate that joke and shit on you because you made a political joke. Like, that's the climate that you're in. So if she had made some joke about JD Vance on Twitter, I'm sure she would have gotten just as much hate. It just would have been from a different group, and it would have been worded differently.
Right.
What are you doing here? Like, you knew what you were getting yourself.
Anymore.
That's so weird. It's the meme of the kid sticking the stick into his own front tire on his bicycle. Like, oh my God, why did all the Democrats get mad at this? Well, what the fuck were you aiming for, idiot? Like, that had to be your goal. And then you want to turn around after achieving your goal and be like, oh, the woke mob, they did exactly what I expected them to do. They came after me when I made a joke at their expense. Oh my God.
The only difference between now and before, I feel like, with this whole wokies are canceling comedy shit, is that people used to know how to take the criticism, how to take the fucking when somebody said your joke sucked, you'd listen. Or you would joke out of it. You joke out of people criticizing your joke. That's what you do as a
Shouldn't
comedian.
the comedians be the ones with the thickest skin? Because it's like you're out here dishing it out constantly.
You should take it and roll off of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, we can't do that.
Come on.
We don't do that anymore. We don't do that.
I bet Cummings isn't even your real last name. I bet it's a stage
that was just
name.
a joke too. She's trying to make me think about
you can just make your
right
whole
off the
brand
bat.
saying dirty things, and people will be like, "Oh God, she's like a chick, but she says like cum and penis and stuff, dude. It's crazy." Holy shit!
Racist.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And he went to first of all, how does a teacher even afford to go 30 times to why did he get fired? Why can no one answer any of these questions? And why am I a monster if I just ask them?
Oh, that's my favorite. I'm just asking questions, bro. I'm just asking questions.
You are more than welcome to ask all the questions you want. And guess what, Whitney? You're more than welcome to make all of the jokes you want about Tim Walz going. I mean, honestly, there is a joke there. It's a peculiar. You make jokes out of observations and peculiar things that happen to you and yada, yada. So the whole thing is a peculiar situation when you think about it. The guy that was going to be the vice president went to China over 30 times with a bunch of school children. You know, you could make a joke out of that entire situation that's not racist and shit. You could make a funny joke out of it. I'm not your guy.
Yeah,
but,
I'm struggling. It's something about cheap labor is where I'm at.
It's like
yeah,
it is
gotta keep working on it.
It is a peculiar situation, so you very well could make a funny joke there somewhere. I'm sure. Okay, you didn't. Your joke sucked, Whitney Cummings. Okay, your joke sucked, so people had issue with it. Like, where are we failing to understand? I don't know. But, yeah, she blocked me for that tweet. And it pissed me off so much, I had to go to her page and, look through it. And see what other dumb shit she was saying. Which
it's
I
so
love
cool that we can do that now. Thank God one of Elon's ex-wives blocked him, and then he had to change the way blocks work so he could still track her on Twitter. I'm so glad that happened. Now we can all still see what people say. Thank you, Elon.
No, this is one aspect of the new Twitter world that I do love. So let's listen to a little bit of one of Whitney's bits on her podcast. Okay.
I don't want to see any of Whitney's
She is
bits.
hilarious. Okay. Let's do a little bit. We already saw enough of Bo Black's
I've already had to see Bo Black's bits. I don't want to see any more bits.
It's time for Whitney's bits, okay?
It's the year that a lot of creeps pretended they were good people by revealing other creeps, but you did the same thing. And it's almost grosser because you pretended to be a hero about it. You patted yourself on the back after.
Listen,
seeing Amanda Bynes on social media right now, everyone's on notice. I have added her to my list. Shirley Temple, now Amanda Bynes. Get ready. Get ready. Okay. I got my mind set on you. Okay. I have had a change of heart.
Nervous breakdown?
With the iCarly.
Seems like it. She's losing
same.
And I think whoever made it is sick. And I think I messed up being so supportive of it because the idea of this production exploited children, abused children. So we're going to show those scenes again right now without their permission and re-exploit them and show you how disgusting Nickelodeon was, or Dan Schneider, Nickelodeon or not.
So if you don't pick up what she's talking about by now, she's talking about those Quiet on the Set documentaries we talked about before on the show. That was like going over old Nickelodeon footage and Dan Schneider's career and everything and all the degenerate shit he did. Okay. And Whitney is saying here, okay, she's saying, how dare they expose Dan Schneider and make money off of him doing all these terrible things and show these clips of them, of the children being victimized or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't know what Whitney expects. Like, she's taking issue that they made money off of the documentary, like making the documentary. So I don't know.
Communist.
Like, it's weird to be like, you exposed this thing, but you made money off of it. So you're nasty. You shouldn't have done that. So they shouldn't have exposed the thing then.
Comrade Cummings over here.
Like, I don't get what she's trying to say. Like, she thinks she's she's on to some like clever point here. Like, they made money. How dare they make money and victimize these poor people? And these documentarians took footage that Nickelodeon has recorded themselves and made money off of already. First off, put everywhere. There, you go find all these clips. How do you think the person that makes the documentary gets the clips? Like, they're all, like, Nickelodeon has these episodes. They're episodes that they made. So they gathered the clips and showed them as evidence against Dan Schneider in their documentary. But since they made money and re-showed them to people, they're monsters for doing
only
it.
Hulu and Netflix. Only the companies should be able to make money off it, not the people that worked on creating it. It's their fault that scumbags and sickos exist. And it's also their fault that for whatever reason, we as a society enjoy watching that content. If you don't believe me, type in JCS Inspired on YouTube. Just watch one true crime video, one or two on YouTube, and then see the vast expanse of that genre that is opened up to you. Go on Netflix and look at it. How the fuck is it anybody's problem? It's their fault that they're making something and then they're going to be paid for their work. That's ridiculous. And Advent brings up a point. Hearing her say this is hilarious when she's friends with Chris D'Elia. You know what?
Well, that's what I mean. It's like when I hear her say this, it almost seems like defense. It almost seems like she's like running D for Chris D. Because if you kind of like apply what she's saying to that situation, she's like, how dare these women share the text message? Like, how dare the text messages be leaked?
Yeah.
And how dare they have to, like, how dare anyone say anything about Chris D'Elia and
she
him
sounds
doing
like that
this?
bitch Barbara
Because
Walters when
you're putting
Corey
them,
Haim.
you're victimizing them all over again. How dare you say something about this? It's like, how are people supposed to know? How are people supposed to know? How are they not supposed to be victims later on? Okay. And how do you effectively get over a message like that? You know, when it's somebody rich, like imagine if with Harvey Weinstein, it was just, I mean, it is how it kind of was with him, where for years people knew about Harvey Weinstein being a freak, but they only made comments, you know, here and there, little comments, and nobody
and jokes about it at award shows.
Right. And nobody ever took it seriously because nobody sat down and was like, this is what happened. Okay. Here's proof of what happened. Okay. He's a monster. You've got to do that sometimes to make an effective, a compelling argument to people. That's how you convince people that Dan Schneider's a shithead, is you say, look what he did. Here's what he did. And while that stuff is horrific, yes, like in certain cases, or traumatizing for some of these people to go through again, like there's a point to it, okay? They've already been victimized once. Like, you're trying to get a point out of what happened to them to make it so other people aren't victimized or hurt or whatever. So I think even like she's just completely wrong. And yeah, it just to me it gives I'm running defense for my guy. You shouldn't talk about these traumatic situations, you know. It's not fair. It should only be the people involved that can talk about it. That the random lady or the random girl that Chris D'Elia took advantage of that probably doesn't have anything but her platform to say stuff about. She could like these people that were victimized by D'Elia could go to somebody and they could share their experience. Somebody could make a documentary hit piece on Chris and that'd go viral. But, you know, it doesn't take much to just, if you're a rich person, to just shut up some random person, you know, online or from saying what they want to say online. Like sometimes it just has to get to the point where somebody makes a fucking big documentary for people to wake up and be like, oh shit, they're a terrible person. She's just an idiot.
Well, definitely. 100%. Retweet. Absolute idiot.
I think she has some more to say here though, if you want to listen.
I as haunting as that still shot is, I do think we should probably move off of it at some point.
God, she's got a
for
big
the viewers'
mouth.
sake. Man, the
Imagine
audio
that.
only gang is really winning right now. This looks like, honestly, she looks like something out of Death Note in that moment. Just in that, she looks like a Shinigami, kind of, just like
Yeah,
she dropped her notebook into the human realm.
All right.
Like, get her an apple.
I took the bait. I'm sorry. I'm mad at myself. Shame on you. iCarly documentary. Ariana Grande did not agree to be in that movie. Your fake, heroic, self-righteous nonsense where you're pretending to protect children and pretending
Like
that
what you're
better
doing
than
right now.
How is it pretending?
Right? That's what you're doing. She's doing the thing that you're fake self-righteous stuff as you stand on your own fucking soapbox, bro. This is wild. It's so meta.
She acts like just because they're making money off of it that they're like just they're pretending. She's like pretending to be heroic. What the documentary is about what they did to these children. What do you mean pretending? I don't see how anybody's pretending. Pretending what? They're only making the documentary to make money. They don't care about anything that happened. And she's saying that's because they didn't ask Ariana Grande's permission to like show the footage of her like whatever she was doing, squirting cheese on her feet or something. Or no, they were like dripping water over her while she's
weird.
leaning over
So many weird things. There
Right.
were too many of them. But that's the other part. Those were clips from the show, so it doesn't matter, right? It already been published once. I would argue, without knowing, she probably wasn't too thrilled about those scenes making it into the show at the first time. So it's kind of a pointless argument. Harles, however, makes a good argument here. If she's talking about the Quentin Reviews one, I actually agree with everything. Just on principle, I don't like too many Quentin Reviews videos. So, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and agree. It was not necessary. No one needs 8 hours on iCarly. Maybe they do. I don't know.
I feel like Whitney Cummings is like she's making excuses for shitty men in her life. She's trying to make, because like her big controversy right now is that her boyfriend victimized some lady in the past somehow. Whoever her boyfriend is has like some allegations of his own where he did some shit to some people. And then her best friend also is Chris D'Elia, who's went through all these controversies. I just feel like she's making a lot of excuses for the terrible men that she surrounds herself with. And that kind of shows her character too. I feel like she's a terrible person and she's making excuses for all these terrible people that she's fucking surrounded herself with.
Like a
Person
female
who
Ashton
aired
Kutcher.
The scene of the teenager
Yeah.
being sexual, when you did the same thing 10, 20 years later, when maybe they finally were able to escape that nightmare, you're going to kick it up again and make it their #1 Google search and exploit them again. It's even worse when it's under the guise of being some kind of hero activist. And
So it was
my
better.
shocked face.
She said it's worse that the documentary showed the clip than the first time when some degenerate pervert director instructed the girl to do the scene for his own pleasure. It's worse the second time when the people are trying to make a documentary exposing the guy, showing it then. It's worse then than the initial act of a pervert doing perverted things. Interesting.
It's wild that somebody doing a video about the abuse is somehow worse and more impactful than, like, whatever. If those people who have experienced it 20 years ago, maybe through some therapy and over time, maybe they have forgotten about it. I would argue that those aren't the kind of things you forget about. And probably the least of your worries when you're that fucking famous is one documentary that's been made about you. I don't know. But this whole thing, does Whitney Cummings not realize how fucking woke she sounds in this whole goddamn clip? By the way, can I be that guy? Am I allowed to be that guy today?
Comedy.
What in the cancel culture is this bullshit that I'm hearing?
I mean, it is exactly. It's deflection.
Disavowing all Clout Route coverage of the LA fires, by the way. Yes, see, that's exactly. Didn't realize you guys platformed fires.
Whoops. God, I didn't ask
shit.
any of those houses permission if I
We're
could
evil.
show those clips. Okay, that is evil on my part.
She's got that, dude. She's like Jim Carrey though, with the
So
face
dumb.
acting.
I love it.
Should
So
have been
dumb.
an actress, man. What's going on, Whit?
At least
Missed your calling.
the
She
pervert
was.
was
She was.
sick. At least he was like, I'm a monster. Yeah, that's what
Are
I
you
do. It's now in
No
the doc-
shit.
Yes,
really?
that's what Dan Snyder was doing the whole time.
Oh,
That's what he
at
was doing the
least
whole time.
he's
He's
a
like,
pervert.
he's like, Ariana, I need you to do this weird perverted thing for me because I'm a pervert and I love it when you do perverted things for me.
Sorry.
What are
Ken.
you talking about? Dan Schneider was never like, I'm just a pervert. I'm doing pervert things.
Oh,
That's
you
the
can
whole
forgive
point
me. I'm just a
of the-
sicko.
It's the whole point of the documentary, dumbass bitch. The whole point of the documentary is to be like, hey, this guy was a pervert when he was doing those things. He was not saying he was a pervert. I'm a pervert. I want you to do pervert things. That's exactly what he was not doing. He was trying to keep it secret. They all were. Tons of them were trying to keep their victimizing of children secret. That's the whole point of the documentary. He was not saying that. She's a liar. She's stupid.
It's
What are you
so
saying?
weird. It's worse when you guys do it because he was a pervert. What? Yeah, that's what we're trying to expose.
It's better that the pervert makes the money off of it than these documentarians, Kevin.
Yeah,
Come on.
he was just getting them drunk and putting them in unfortunate and very very difficult situations. Wasn't there the one with the hot tub where he's like in a hot tub
with an underage girl in the hot tub with him.
bragging about how he wrote the scene? One of the worst scenes I've ever seen written, by the way. I mean, Jesus Christ. We give these children actors shit for not being great, and then you find out Dan Schneider wrote half that shit. And I'm like, well, no wonder all child actors are shit, dude. They got this idiot writing their stuff. Look at that. Disgusting.
Well, maybe she does have some kind of point there, because I guess when you put it that way, like, the hot tub scene is clearly a dirty pervert doing dirty perverted things to a girl. I guess that is clearly him being like, I'm a pervert and I'm putting this girl in a scene with me and being a pervert. But what she's missing is that the whole point is people didn't take that seriously when it happened. Okay. Maybe he was parading around and being like, I'm in a hot tub with a fucking underage girl. And people were not taking it seriously, and we're not looking at that like it was a bad thing. That's why there is a documentary to be like, hey, what he did here was bad. So even if you ride with her point and say that she's correct, which I mean, I don't know, it's arguable. But if you say she's correct and he was just flaunting that he's a fucking pervert, well, clearly no one did anything about it. He had a career at Nickelodeon for decades. Decades, bitch. That's why they had to make documentaries to expose these fucks. Like, fuck, brain dead, dipshit.
The pervert was
sick.
At least he was like, I'm a monster. Yeah, that's what I do. It's now in a documentary. This show traumatized
Straight from Chris D'Elia
traumatized
right
all these
there.
people,
That's
and you're
personal
gonna
experience.
air it and then embarrass them and then make money from their trauma and then seem like a hero at the end.
Well,
Cool.
all these
Also-
victims too should be like, I mean, I would find it weird if Amanda Bynes was like, hey, I think this documentary is stupid and shouldn't be out, because it's trying to expose these people. She should want the guy that victimized her and made her feel like a piece of shit and hurt her. She should want him to come to justice, like to be served his fucking shit. I mean, like maybe she took issue and felt a certain way with the way they presented it in the documentary. That's fair, coming from her, because it's about her. It's not Whitney Cummings saying it. But I still even think that the victims of all this, like, they could take issue with what it did, but they should feel some kind of like, well, at least Dan Schneider's getting shit finally for how he treated me. I mean, I don't know.
It's such a weird position to take, especially considering all the money Whitney Cummings could have made on future documentaries about her friend Chris. She really shouldn't take this stance. She's going to cost herself a few sit-down interviews long after her relevancy has faded. But that was just, I mean, this is a misstep for all kinds of reasons, but it is, you're going to go back to audio only. I look at that.
She is a fucking Medusa going on here. The fuck?
I really regret the Jim Carrey line. Sorry about that.
I would rather watch a Bob Dylan documentary.
Then do that.
Yeah, me too, dummy. Who wouldn't rather watch a fucking Bob?
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet's in it, right? Like, who doesn't want to see that?
I would rather watch a Bob Ross documentary too than hear about Dan Schneider being a fucking pervert, okay? Nobody wants to hear about it. It's just a thing that happened, bitch. Just like D'Elia. You don't want to hear about D'Elia get drug over the coals for being a fucking degenerate pervert, but guess what? He did it. Sometimes we got to talk about it because he sucks balls, bitch.
Something tells me Whitney Cummings performs her acts at some sort of weird Eyes Wide Shut toga party once or twice a year. You know, she's got to work the front rooms, and then the weird shit goes on in the back. You know, the weird shit that Stanley Kubrick was trying to expose in Eyes Wide Shut. Why did he die a week after he showed that movie to 2 Warner Brothers executives? You tell me why. God damn it, why? Whole thing is filled with pedophilers.
Okay, so I will say, though, after all this shit talking of Whitney Cummings, okay, we'll end it. I will praise her just a little bit. Good for Whitney Cummings for standing up against the arsonists in California right now, okay? Here's what she's doing.
So we are traveling towards trailheads, which is where arsonists seem to be targeting, with our swords. Now, the key to defeating someone.
Hold on, let me go back. Let me go back just so you can hear what she said again.
With our swords. Now, the key to defeating someone who is doing something so violent and so sickening that, you know, there's really not much you can do besides kill them. If that's not an option,
that's not an option.
The second best option is come off so crazy that they just are stunned and just rethink their entire plan.
So, okay. Whitney Cummings' plan is to do like the episode of Hey Arnold where he takes that fucking boombox to the bully and he's like, don't hit me, I'll hit me. I'm crazy. You're a motherfucker. She's thinking that. She's like, I'm going to go up. So imagine a person unhinged enough to go and start lighting fires in LA while the place is just fucking burning. Imagine an unhinged crazy person, crazy enough that they'd go start fires or whatever in random places. Whitney thinks that she's going to do the Hey Arnold and get out of the car with a fucking unsheath the fucking ninja sword. Okay? And they're just going to be like, ah! And fucking run. They're gone. No way I'm going to start a fire now after Whitney Cummings came after me with a fucking ninja sword.
If she does it like Aragorn, though, you know, in Return of the King, I think that might work a little bit. If she's just like, whooshing, and then holds it like it's a baseball bat, you know? Just coming here. Oh, but when I dump a glass of water into knee-high floods, nobody cares. That's a good way to get
What's
lit
up,
on fire.
arsonist bitch? You want an arson, bitch? You think you're gonna arson, motherfucker? Who's gonna arson when I come at ya?
Woo!
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Got a match?
Now you see why we only do shows via StreamYard now. There's too many weapons in the studio.
You gonna arson, bitch?
Where was that? Was that sword in the studio the whole time? That's wild. I didn't even know.
Well, sometimes you just gotta show up with a fucking sword and they decide to go, Kevin, you know.
Right. That's actually, it's funny that she, spoiler alert for LA Noire, because that's how you end that whole debacle, right? There's an arsonist running around and you can't solve it as the Detective Cole, so you have to take it over as Private Eye Jack, and he just says, I'll just fucking samurai this whole business, and then you go through and you just cut everybody down. It's a really cool sequence. I enjoy it. Underappreciated game.
I mean, this
tough to get the samurai ending, though. You gotta do a lot of things specific to get the samurai ending.
It's so weird to me. At one point, I didn't think that Whitney Cummings was that bad. Like, I didn't listen to her stand up, but
that's why
she had been. Yeah, probably.
Boom.
I saw her on podcasts and stuff. She'd been guests on different podcasts I watched, so like, she seemed tolerable. But then, yeah, you really gotta listen. You can't just go off the podcast appearances and stuff. You really gotta listen. There's real thought-provoking shit here, okay?
Oh, without a doubt.
And if anyone can out crazy an arsonist, who is it, babe?
Oh, there it is.
For certain.
There it is again.
Also, Anderson Cooper's up in Topanga. Like, is it gonna be awkward if we run into each other? It's so.
Was she banging Anderson Cooper?
I don't know what she's got going on with Anderson Cooper, really. But yeah, no. Who can out crazy an arsonist?
Me, babe?
Who's gonna out crazy an arsonist, motherfucker?
That's a weird genre of pick me. Pick me, I'm crazy. Okay. Who's been reading my diary?
All right, folks. Well, there you go. We were the last line of the defense for comedy this week. Okay, we were defending comedy. We've successfully defended it. I had to get out the sword and scare away the arsonists trying to burn down comedy, but we successfully did it. Okay.
Not the hero we deserve, but the one we're gonna get right now, or whatever Batman said.
Yes, right. With great ninja sword comes great responsibility, okay? Whitney knows. But anyways, so yeah, Joe Rogan, Mel Gibson, Whitney Cummings all suck. James Woods, sucky too. Pretty good week.
Bo Blacks might be doing it on camera. Yeah.
Bo Blacks also sucky. sucky $5.
Sorry about that, guys.
I hope that I can not like. I saw somebody. I can't remember who. I saw somebody from Badwick's podcast tweet like, "Hey, Bo Blacks, come on Wall Smashers." I think it might have been. I can't remember who.
Do it.
He's gonna be real desperate if he continues to make content. Like, if Bo Blacks continues to be online, he's gonna get real desperate here soon for shows to go on. And like, if he goes on Wall Smashers, you know, I think we can secure a Bo Blacks guest.
I mean, if you're gonna go late night on Wall Smashers, the next thing for you to do would be to hit that early morning Clout route, coffee
it's like
and Clout.
The debrief.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to do that.
Exactly. It's like having some of that nice hangover stuff you drink the next morning. You know, we can come on and get you caffeinated and ready to go.
That's right.
Come on, Bo Blacks.
All right, people. Well, thank Bobby and thank Advent, Harles, Kangaloope, Ren. V-Dub was here. Hash. Who else? Shadow Humor was here. Zulish Gozarian was here.
That's right. Zool was here.
Let's see.
Tarar was in here.
Tarar
Hopefully the work day's going all right. Do we say Headbug? King?
Headbug.
King, I hope you are almost done with that next house. I know King's still out there working. Hopefully it's almost done for you.
The real work, okay? Doing the real work out here. Unlike these fucking Whitney Cummings of the world who don't do any fucking real work and get outraged when they don't let me do comedy. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. But anyways, thank you all for being here. We will be back next Sunday, but Kevin and I will be cooking up something this week that should be out to your viewing pleasure sometime this month, and it ain't an OnlyFans. Okay, I'm not dressing up in a dress. It's actual content. What that's content too. It was content for us today. I mean, Bo Black's mangina was at least 10 minutes of content for us today.
And an eternity burned into my frontal lobe.
Shouts out to you, Bo Blacks. Okay, you always have a seat here on the Clout round if you want to talk about your that mangina, you know. You always got a seat. Anyways, we will talk at y'all later. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. And shouts out to Kanga.
That's right.
For that sweet 5 that I can buy me some fucking Mickey D's with later. Ooh. Thank you so much.
Get a McValue, dude.
I'm already hungry. Okay, thinking about it.
That's good.
All right. Let's get out of here. Peace, peace, peace. Harles, see you later. Peace. Peace. I should hit end. That'll probably help.
Might do it. Yeah, it might be the thing.